I mean,
Okay,
this is
well,
on the runs. Like I've not spared details.
be careful what you wish for.
Hey runners, whether you're training for your first 5K or your 10th marathon, injuries don't have to be part of the journey. At Back in Action in Concord, New Hampshire, we specialize in keeping runners just like you strong, healthy, and on the road. We put together a free guide covering injury prevention and recovery. This is built for runners by runners. Download it for free in the show notes. And don't wait for something to hurt. Get the guide, stay in the game.
I just told him the other day, actually, I'm like, I do remember the second I first saw you. I remember, like, and being like, oh my gosh.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, everybody? And welcome to our next episode of our Summer of Love series on the On the Runs podcast, brought to you by Back in Action. I hope y'all having a great month so far. I can tell you one thing. Erica just got some bad news, and I'll let her tell you in a second. But 6-star Erica, what's up?
How's it going, buddy? Oh, my bad news. It's not really bad news. It's expected bad news. I did not get into London.
You were probably hopeful for this bad news because you still don't have a job and you have no money to go to London.
And exactly. So I'm very relieved. But hey, it's such a crapshoot. Even with the 2-day that they're doing, the odds are so low that it would have been an absolute miracle to get in. But I did hear somebody from our Will Run For family got in, I believe.
Oh,
I feel like I saw that today.
Tell me.
Let me fact check before we go spouting all these.
No, we don't need fact checking. It's like when he told Rob Similcare that everyone was getting in the Boston Marathon and he got his hopes up.
I don't want to be that person. I have it right here on good authority via the Will Run For stories that Brianna is running on
Congrats,
Saturday.
Brianna. That's wicked awesome.
Yes.
So we'll have to have
Congrats.
her do like content for all of us. Just tag us in all the content. Maybe we'll go there because I do have actually breaking news.
What?
This is, by the time this comes out, I hope it's public. But do you remember that reel we posted to Abbott with Dan Foley? And we're like, Abbott.
Yes.
We made it happen. It happened. Dan Foley will be running in the London Marathon for Team Abbott. Dan, I'm sorry if I'm breaking the news right now, like too early, but it's happening. And we need to be in London to record and get we need to do a live show from London. They can get us. They're doing 2 days now. Let's make it happen. Dan's going to be there. We have to do it.
Which day is he running?
I don't know.
He got it. I think he got in before they announced it was going to be a 2-day.
He did, because that's how long I've known. But I haven't announced anything. And so sorry, not sorry if I'm announcing it to the world.
Our
millions of
worked.
followers and listeners. Speaking of someone who has millions of followers and listeners, we have an amazing 2 guests on today's pod. 6-star. Tell us who's coming on.
Some personal favorites of mine. Actually, well, one personal favorite and one new personal favorite. We have Ashley and Maddie Paulson. I know you have
one
been
of
wanting
my personal favorites forever.
You've been wanting to get him on the pod for a long time. So this has been a work in progress, and I'm so happy that we could make this happen, especially for the Summer of Love, because the two of them together is just goals, you guys.
They need
goals.
their own podcast.
They really, oh my God, they would
need
be
their own
fantastic
podcast.
on a podcast.
You're going to hear like a fun documentary coming out soon too about the two of them. Going to be following them around throughout this series, like a 4-part series. This was so incredible. Maddie is the best. I'm telling you, it's not only his beautiful head of hair, just like mine.
The two of you
have been
vibe
following
so much.
these two long before we started this podcast, and he is the absolute greatest. So thank you, Ashley, for finally letting Maddie on the podcast. She even gave us permission now to have him on for his own episode. This is so amazing, and it is even more amazing because it's brought to you by our 3 incredible sponsors for this series, My Race Tats, UFOs, and Back in Action. Check them out in the show notes. Go to the show notes for Back in Action. Download that free running pain-free guide. It's incredible. Also, side note, the first 4 minutes, the audio might be a little fluffy a little bit, but it gets better when we figured it out 4 minutes in. Those things happen, but this was so incredible. 6-star. Take us away for Ashley and Maddie.
We hope you enjoy Ashley and Maddie Paulson on the On the Runs podcast, and we'll see you on the other side.
Our next guest on the pod is making her 5th appearance on the pod. She's everyone's biggest cheerleader. She's the new world record holder of the fastest 100-mile, not just outside, but on a treadmill. She's a back-to-back Badwater champion. She's competed in over 25 Ironmans and over 100 marathons, and the lover of cheese balls.
Oh, yes!
Joining alongside of her is the man behind it all, the head of support crew, the driver of Harvey, an incredible dad of 4, and the one who will make your final day of pregnancy into a finish line. Needless to say, we are both wicked excited to welcome Maddie and Ashley to the On the Runs podcast. What's up, guys?
What is going on? That was
An intro.
right. I see why I love these guys. You get to have some cheese balls. Like, oh my God.
That is funny.
Love.
I don't
It's
know
not
if
even
these
a
are
full
bad,
one.
but we bought
They're
these
never-
on the morning of the Boston Marathon.
They're not bad.
They
And-
never go. They never expire.
Since like they came home with me, this is what my kids have finished. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cheese balls left.
Will you do me a favor?
Wow.
Will you finish those during our pod today? Just like
I want to see him just shoving handfuls of like cheese balls in his mouth. That'll make the
and
pod.
licking the
Yes.
The
fingers.
thing is, if I did that, I would die. I am
Oh, he
definitely
can't
allergic to
eat
cheese.
those. You should have given him
You
to me,
want
though.
real
I haven't had
cheese.
breakfast yet.
It says on it, made with real cheese, right there.
There's no way
Lies.
you have real cheese.
I've never been able to have, Maddie, I've never had in my life milk, chocolate, butter, cheese, anything with dairy. And if I have, I like break into hives and I have to take an EpiPen. 40
No way,
years
that bad.
almost.
It's
that bad. I
casein.
can get sick an EpiPen. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Makes me so sad.
Yeah. I don't think I've
No.
actually
It's
ever heard
very
of that
sad
before.
pizza.
I've heard of just normal allergies. It's gonna give you the runs, right? You gotta
Yeah.
spend a lot of time on the toilet. But I get actually an EpiPen for dairy.
I have like a reaction someone allergic to bees would have.
Yeah.
They have that reaction. Crazy.
Mm.
Well,
Mhm.
then
not.
don't touch the cheese balls. Okay.
And honestly, they're not worth it. Really, they're really not. Right?
I would die for them.
Listen,
You know, if I die eating a cheese ball, I just want you all to know I died. Okay.
She's actually told me she wants her ashes stored in a little cheese ball container.
Ashley's face when you said it's not the end of the world was like deal breaker.
Uh-huh. I can just see Maddie going around with Ashley, like that's her urn, and like he's gonna like bring her ashes to different places, but it's just a
It's a
cheese,
cheese ball. Cheese ball.
The funny, maybe she's shared this already. I never know. But like the funny thing is like I can't remember after one race or something she did. Chester the cheetah, right? You know who Chester the cheetah is,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yep.
Chester the cheetah contacted her on Instagram, sent her a massive box of Cheetos and a little signed card, about Chester the cheetah.
Yep.
And
I'm a little jealous. I
Man,
have to say I'm a
Chester.
little jealous. Man, you
Okay.
guys are like this
Chester.
now.
Yeah.
Watch out,
I mean,
Maddie.
first of all, letter. I mean, yeah, it was great. It was great.
Well, we are wicked excited to have you both on the pod. Like, this is great. Ashley, 5th time, Maddie, 1st time.
We need to
We
get you
know a
like
lo-
one of those jackets from like SNL. If you're on the 5 Timers Club, we got to do something like that for you.
I
I
kinda
think
feel
I
like-
think she's got the record here.
We'll have
Really?
it with a big stoolie on the back. You are, well,
yes.
outside of some locals, like some local friends who make many
The regulars.
appearances, like you are definitely in the lead. You are
Mhm.
definitely in the lead,
I like
which
to
we're
win. It's
excited
weird.
for. And we're so happy because of all the support. But someone we don't really know a lot about, except what we see behind the scenes, is Maddie. And I kind of figured we would not go ladies first. We would go Maddie first. here.
no, you gonna do
Love
a
it.
fantastic?
I love it. You know what? Guys, I came from here. I am
Yes.
here with some popcorn for the Eric and Maddie show.
Oh.
I'm
I'm just
entertained.
gonna sit back too. Me and Ash are just gonna
Where's the-
soak up the tea.
Yeah. I got popcorn. You got
Let's
your
go.
drink. Yeah,
Yep.
Eric and Maddie. Like, oh, you can't have butter.
Yeah. Fake butter.
Yeah,
But
well,
Maddie.
I'm just disappointed I can't actually do this in studio.
I am.
You and I.
Someday. That's the dream.
We'll go to St. George. Like, I'll look at Delta flights right now.
Done. Let's do it.
We'll
But
see you in
Maddie-
5 hours. You
Yeah.
guys. No, it's way longer than that. Eh.
Maddie, tell us a little bit about yourself. And I want to know a little bit about yourself that we don't know that we see on Instagram. Tell us about you before you met Ashley, like, and then lead up to when you did, because I don't even know. Did you guys know each other as kids? Like, lead up to the day you met Ashley. What was
Basically.
Maddie like?
All right, tell your story. I'm here for it.
Oh man, you don't realize how long ago that was. Like we've been married for 25 years, almost 26 now.
Oh, wow.
And so that seems like forever ago to go back and think about what I was. I was a completely different person. I had hair to begin with, and so this is what I tell people all the time. All of my brothers and my dad, they still have hair. Like, this isn't like genetic hair loss, right?
It's a
My
lifestyle.
my hair loss is caused by this.
It's fair. It's fair.
Back to mine with my daughters, right? Because we had 3 daughters before we had a son, and so for 16 years, no, it was 16 years. I was surrounded by nothing but women, and one crazy one with 23 personalities that I had to keep up with, right? Yes, but man, going back, I looked at pictures the other day actually because our daughter just got married, and so she asked to get some old pictures, and I look at those 2 kids because we really were kids. She was 19, I was 23.
18. Oh, I thought when we met. So.
Oh no, when we got married.
17.
And man, we were just kids at the time, and she actually ran her very first marathon when we were engaged. And so I still remember her very first marathon. And so to say that I've been with her like since the beginning of her running career, it's true. Yeah. I mean, her
Through and
first
through.
marathon was what? 4:0. You correct me before.
I have. You see that one? It was
Isn't it?
4:03.
Okay. 4:03.
Give me those 2 minutes.
So, from a 4:03 to 2:37 and 2:36, 2:34. I know.
You can't
Get it
chip
right.
those minutes. No, you got to count those. Come on.
I've been through it all. I've seen it all. And so, so I've always been very supportive of what she does. It's kind of part of how I knew her when we were even dating. Like, she was always running and she was training for her grandma. And so, I haven't known anything.
How did the 2 of you meet? Like, what exact circumstance brought you 2 together?
Oh, I mean, I wish that we could say it was some cute little story that, our
No
eyes
meet
met, across the crowd at a concert or something. And then we slowly gravitated towards each other.
I just told him the other day, actually, I'm like, I do remember the second I first saw you. I remember, like, and being like, oh my gosh. And so, yeah, you might not have felt that way, but I did.
I'm listening.
Yeah, so we met working at a restaurant. That's it. It's pretty simple. Yeah, we worked at a restaurant together. She was, we used to
I was 17, yeah.
So she was 17, I was 21. I did not look at her in that way at 17, right? Blinders on, right?
Yep.
Because you grew up a little bit. And that day never came. Like I've still been waiting for her to grow up.
Not gonna happen. I'll grow old, but it won't
Never
grow
change.
up.
Yep, so I've been waiting a very long time for that. And I always had a rule that I was never going to date anybody that I worked with. And so I think, so we worked together for, I don't know, about a year.
6 months.
6 months? That's
Because
it?
we met in July.
Oh, that's true.
I know our story. Met in July and we dated in February.
Yep. So there we go. I met in February and then got married like 9 months later. So
Wow. Whirlwind. A total
That
whirlwind.
was quick. Ashley knows
grew
it
up
all.
so
She's like,
fast.
it was a Wednesday, the 22nd, which is my birthday. And it was at like right as I walked in, and then she planned the whole thing around Valentine's Day, and 9 months later, put a ring on it.
kind of, like see. I actually decided to throw a few curveballs my way too. So in that 9 month period, which is pretty crazy that we even got married, in that time frame, she actually broke up with me 3 times.
What were you thinking?
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, man. I love this guy.
I told you guys were like, that's why I'm like, I'm just gonna show up for
Yep,
you guys.
just
Because we're like, yep, Erica and I are just gonna like, I'll just correct numbers
what
here
could
and there.
have gone on to do it 3 times, Ashley? I mean, look at this guy.
See, I always say I was just that perfect, right?
Yeah.
That she couldn't
No.
believe it. She couldn't understand like how there's got to be something wrong with this guy, right?
No, it actually was scary to me because I was like,
So I was so young, and my sisters got married. A few of them at like 18, 19. I'm like, I'm not gonna be that girl. That's the typical Utah girl. I'm not like, I just got out of high school. I just like free, like, and I was like, no, this guy's like marriage material. I'm not going there. So like, no, we're done.
Mhm.
And then he's so cute, that blonde hair, tan, and it's like he drove around in this big red jacked up Jeep. Like I was like, so cute. And then just everything about him. So yeah, broke up again. And then there was 3 months that went by. 3 months, like no contact at all. I mean, this
Maddie's
is
playing hard to get. I like it.
dated in February and married in November, and the 3 of those months we didn't even see each other.
Well, I'll be real.
Aw.
After the second time, like I fell pretty hard for her. And so when she broke up like twice in a 2-week period. Like that's how weird it was. And so I told her, I'm like, hey, like I don't want to talk to you or see you. Like my heart basically needs to heal because I fell pretty hard.
Aw.
And so we went like 2 months without even talking to each other.
Was it only 2?
Like 2.5, 3 months, maybe. I don't know, somewhere right in there.
Mhm.
And then randomly enough, I was waiting tables at a different restaurant.
I love this story.
And previously to her, I had actually dated another Ashley, trying to set the stage. And I was waiting on this couple. And when they left and I went to go retrieve the credit card slip, right, see what my massive tip was going to be. They actually, to this day, actually, they gave me the best tip ever. So on the receipt, it said, in handwriting, it said, "Give Ashley another chance." Okay. Now, like I said, I had previously dated another girl named Ashley too.
Mhm. Oh, so I see there could be a little confusion
Yes.
here. Uh-huh.
The other one was, spelled her name with 2 E's on the end,
Yeah.
and she spells hers with EY, and so they wrote the EY one, on the receipt, and so naturally, my mind, I still hadn't gotten over her, and so I had called her up, and we went out, and had a great first date back together in a way, and at the very end, I told her the story, and I said, "So is it true? Right? Do you want another chance?" And anyway, we got back together one more time. But she still has, to this day, she has no idea who that couple is.
Really?
so,
That is so weird.
I remember
Yeah.
their last name.
But
Yep,
do
I
you
know her
know?
last name.
No,
And so
neither of us knew.
neither one of us
Oh.
knew the couple. And so to this day, I think they meant the other Ashley.
No.
Yeah. And not that I would have called that one because I really wasn't interested.
Mhm.
But to this day, I think it was like this little God-given mistake when they, we were writing out that name. They wrote it with a Y, which made me call her back up.
It was
And
fate.
otherwise, I wasn't ever gonna, call her, back up.
Mhm.
And at least until I was over her, right?
Well, I'm
So-
glad it all worked out.
Yeah. Like, I have no idea who they are. He doesn't.
What are the odds?
I know. Crazy.
Yep, no idea. But yeah, so that was the very best tip I ever got waiting tables right there.
Aw.
Give Ashley another chance.
That's
I'm
an
glad you
unreal-
listened.
It's an unreal story. That and then eventually, because pretty soon twins happen. I'm a twin dad, Maddie. By the way, I got
Oh, I
twin
didn't know
boys.
that. I
So
did
we're
not.
You
twin
guys are so
parents.
alike.
We are.
I had twins after we had our first, so we went from 1 to 3. But you two decided you had twins, and then you decided to try again, and they come in multiples. What were you thinking?
It was several years later, though.
Yeah. Ours have big gaps in between them all. And but the first ones came fast because we were only married for 3 months, and she got pregnant, and we had no idea actually until 5 months later at that first ultrasound. And then, we found out we were having twins. So our first anniversary, she's, out to here. And we had we celebrated our first anniversary. And then a week later, she gave birth to our twins. So yes, we've had, now she's a grandma. We're both, I guess we're both grandparents. It's not just her. But we're both grandparents, which is crazy to think too.
It's crazy to think because like we're all the same age, and my oldest is 10, and I'm like,
oh wow,
and I have cats.
Okay,
who's the smartest one in the room?
Eric, how old are you?
41 in a couple of weeks, actually.
Oh, you're young.
Oh, thank you.
Young. Yeah,
Maddie. But the head we have here, it makes us look.
You actually
feel much younger.
Really well, also, like you have a good bald head.
Yeah.
So Maddie, you're blonde. I don't know if I can picture that.
That's kind of brown. Like, you see, like my eyebrows, kind of like a sandy brown. But it would get bleached, like the sun. I spent a lot of time in the sun.
Makes sense.
So kind of have that bleached blonde.
Kind of. You were blonde as blonde can be when I met you. I
found some pictures. I could find them again, but
I'll get you some pictures.
Yeah,
where were you from originally? Were you all like, you're both from the Utah area, right? St. George area, right? So you're both local.
From northern Utah. So Utah's a very big state. So we grew up in northern Utah, up in the mountains, snow, all that stuff. Both of us hated the snow growing up, and so the first chance we got, we moved south. So we moved down to St. George, which is more in the desert. So we maybe get 1 day of snow a year, but 300 plus days of sunshine. So we lived we've lived here the majority of our marriage, but have lived all over. We lived in San Diego, we lived in Florida, we lived in a motorhome, Harvey.
They know Harvey.
The RV.
We lived in that for a couple of years. So we're little gypsies. We like to wander and travel a lot and explore the world.
You're definitely warm weather people too. That's more my speed. Eric's the one who will take like the winter off to go skiing. He loves to ski. He'll put running on hold, and I'm like, no, I want to be inside. Like, I will be on a treadmill. Like, it's too much for me. But you guys are living the life out in the sun. That's what I want to do.
One thing I want to know about the two of you, and I brought up the twins, and I kind of don't know the timeline maybe when, Ashley, your life took a change and you started competing more. But I know you did that first marathon, and then you took a big break. And you're a mom of 2 kids. I think, Maddie, you're doing a ton of work. What was life like in those early days before you made that transition, Ashley? Like, what were you doing to support each other? Were you still extremely active? Like, I think maybe you were just a fitness instructor at the time, part-time.
Yeah, I was. I would teach classes like first thing in the morning when Matt was asleep and could take care of the kids, like just in case they woke up. But I'd be at the gym at like my 5 a.m. class, my 6 a.m. class, get the doubles. And, just to kind of, he was in school full time, working full time. And so I'm like, I can bring in a little bit of money, and I got a free gym membership, and, just like the little bit that I could do to help, and I get my workout time. And then I'd go back at like 9 and teach like a 9 and a 10. So I was teaching like 4 or 5 classes a day when our twins were little, just to help. And
well, this is where and part of it, like, I think what a lot of people miss is that during those years, yes, I was doing school for a couple of years while we were, married still, but I went from school right into self-employment. And so we've always been kind of our own bosses, and, starting with businesses. And, as you know, in the early days of any business, things are very lean, right? And so for Ashley, it was 2 things, which has kind of helped set a foundation even for, I guess, my reciprocity in supporting her, is in those early days with 2 kids and, cupboards that were very bare. She easily could have said, hey, hon, no, you need to go use your degree and go work a 9 to 5 and go put some real food in our cabinets. But she didn't. She's like, hey, I believe in you, and I'm going to support you as you go off and you go and chase, your dreams. And if that means too, that I have to, teach 5 classes a day. Fortunately, she loved it. Help bring in a few extra dollars to help support, the kids and the family and support me and my dreams. she kind of laid that first foundational step that later on in life, as her career started to take off more, as people would talk to me, like even close family members, like my dad even would be like, son, and it comes from a very traditional, gender role type of a life. He's like, son, what are you doing? How are you doing this? She's off, training 30 hours a week now, or doing different things like that. How are you doing life right now in this way? And, and one of the things that I've always commented on or replied back to him or to other people is like, how can I not support her dreams when she was the very first one to support my dreams back in the early days? And so that should be reciprocated as each one of us go through the ebbs and flows of life and chase our own dreams. We all have our own seasons. And it started off where nobody saw us because nobody had social media back then, how much she was doing to support me in my dreams, at that time. And so now it's just my turn to support her and her dreams.
Huh. That's how a marriage is supposed to work. You guys are just being there for each other in whatever life is throwing at you at the time. So you helped get him set up to where he wanted to be, and now he's doing the same for you. And I just love to hear it. This is fantastic.
Thank you. I would all to her.
Oh, no. See, and I'm like,
you guys are a team. It's a team effort.
It is. We've definitely been a good team in that. So, and it is funny to rehear all that because I forget, because I'm like, oh yeah, my fitness did start just teaching 5 classes, and that built my endurance to build where I am today. And it's because he was building his business, and I forget until it's all
yeah, because it is funny because if you go back and look at it, even though she loved it, I don't think she'd be teaching 5 hours a day.
No.
If I was kind of in a traditional spot where we didn't.
She wouldn't have had to necessarily.
Yep, and that all contributed to her fitness and fitness career and being in front of people. It kind of helped set the foundation even for what she does with iFit now and being okay being on camera in front of thousands of people. So it's it's really part of the, I guess, the origin story of her athletic accomplishments.
Do you remember the beginning of her, I'll call it amateur story? Because what I remember actually is it was your dad. You shared that story about your dad signed you up for your first Ironman. Your dad believed in you, and I know Maddie believed in you too. But do you remember that time, Maddie, when she's doing her first couple marathons, and then she did maybe a sprint triathlon, a half Ironman, and I think the story though actually was you're like, no, I could never do an Ironman, and your dad or maybe the two of you together signed actually up for that Ironman. Do you remember those days and that transition when it started taking a turn and actually his life started changing into that, just call it that amateur professional triathlete phase?
Yeah, do you remember that?
I don't ever remember her thinking she couldn't do it though. And maybe I'm wrong.
I remember when my dad asked me, would you ever do a full? And I was like, no. It wasn't because I didn't think I could. It was because I didn't think I wanted to. I hadn't even done a half yet. It was the day before my first half Ironman. And I was like, no. And then I did it. And of course, let that sink in and let it sink into my dad. And then my dad's like, I want to sponsor this. I'm sponsoring your Ironman. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Cause we couldn't afford it. Ironmans are $800.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't justify that.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at my cupboards. I mean, I got ramen in there, And so
we had a little bit more of that time.
We did. But it's still
$800 is a lot of money to show up.
Because it's not just the $800 entry. You
got to travel, all that stuff.
And, everything else.
My dad sponsored my bike and the entry, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this.
I have no excuse now.
Yeah, but I do remember all those years, but it was very gradual, I think, and we grew through it very gradually, which helped my mental side, I think, too. It wasn't like this, hey, we're not athletic or we're kind of sedentary. And it's like, oh, on a whim, hey, let's just go do an Ironman, right? It was very is very consistently building up to like bigger and better things from the first day I met her, almost. And that's one thing too, where I think a lot of people don't understand. They look at Ashley and they'd be like, hey, like, how come you're not injured more? Or how can you go do all these things and recover the way that you've done or whatnot? And they look at it through their own personal lens, right? Like if I were to look at it through my lens and I'd be like, dude, I'd go do one of those. In fact, I did a double Ironman and it wrecked me for like 2 months after.
Oh, wow.
But he did it.
Because going back, I was missing what she had developed over decades, and that was, the consistency and the training and the slow buildup, year over year. I kind of just went from, oh, hey, I need a new challenge in life. I'm done doing some like team sport stuff or, city league, rec league stuff.
Right.
And you went right to a double Ironman.
Yeah. So, hey, let's go. I did 3 halves, 1 full, and then 1 double, all within like a couple of years.
His double was 3 weeks before he told me. He's like,
True.
There's something coming up and you're going to think it's a crazy idea. And I'm like, I'm here for it. What is it? And he told me and I was like, I almost cried.
Well, I can't tell her stuff because she'll like sign me up right when I say it.
And I did. I was like, you got one chance to back out because I'm calling the race director. And he's like, no, I'm like, called him up.
Yeah. So
were you like secretly training for this, Maddie?
No. Well, I trained for a marathon and it was like my second marathon ever. And I blew it. Like my nutrition was off. It was horrible. I just needed a redemption run
Right.
for a race. Right. And
Ironman.
I just completed my
Naturally
Ironman, like 6 months before. So I was like, hey, why not? Let's just go see what I can do. But it wrecked me, right? Like it destroyed me. And she can bounce back from these things so fast. But it's because like rolling it back to that very first marathon when we were engaged, and then getting pregnant and married and kids and all that stuff. Like she's been so consistent for so many years without taking any time off that it was just this gradual build up to it. Wasn't like these big leaps, right? So that, I still believe that the majority of it is her body had learned to, recover from these gradual incremental increases, that it didn't just destroy the hormones, the joints, the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so all of that kind of just grew gradually and learned how to recover for decades, which led to like this kind of a year where she's got a massive, massive race year that I think even the normal elite person wouldn't be able to recover and go from, because they don't have almost 30 years of just being extremely consistent in small increments.
Yeah. Your body has adapted, Ashley. You've definitely gotten used to this.
It's been fun to like look back and be like, whoa, so I feel very blessed that my body is like able to do what it can do, but it wasn't a jump. It was very, very slow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's how you're supposed to do it. That's the healthy way. Gradually just build up to things. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's really healthy. But like going back to your amateur thing, that's kind of how it was. It was just like this decades long road of just being an amateur, because she never had this goal of, oh, I'm going to go be this elite professional athlete. I'm not going to go set a world record, for anything. I'm just going to go, hey, I'm just going to go do try to beat my past time by a minute. Right. And then it's like, oh, I'm going to beat it by another minute. And that little chipping away at it over, like I said, over decades has really led to her success today.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of a perfect transition. I wasn't planning on asking this now, but one of our sponsors for the series, how cool is that, Ash, by the way? We now have sponsors. It's Back in Action, and this is a place in Concord, New Hampshire, so I think you should make the commute weekly to go see Dr. Frank.
Okay.
The big thing about them is, like, what do you do to stay in action or to get back in action? And Maddie was just kind of talking about it, how over the years you've built this up. And what are some of the things the two of you do? Like, Maddie, what do you do to help her stay in the game? But then, Ashley, what are some of the things you do?
You want to go first? You go first.
You want me to go first?
You go first.
So the question is, what are some of the things I do to help her stay in the game?
Yeah, because you're kind of, and we'll get to your Ironmans in a minute, because I know you did one that she waited for you at the run transition. But you're like head of support crew. You're always there. And when I watch these stories, especially when she's doing this amazing feat, running 100 miles or Badwater or something, I see you in the background. What are you doing to keep her going?
Man, it depends on which personality is showing up that day.
Well, I mean, with ultras, anything can happen. I know
so-
I've had my fair share of a roller coaster.
Well, I
so
think it's kind of a, I mean, that's
justified.
such a huge question, because I think there's what happens during training, right?
Mhm.
Just kind of during normal life, you know, what I do to kind of help her, and then race day. They're almost like two different things.
Very different.
Right?
Mhm.
Because on training, sometimes it's just some of those comments of like, hey, when she's having either a rough day or not feeling like it, or things are moving a little slower that day, she's like, I'm kind of lacking the motivation, right? And you know, it's sometimes it's that literal push out the door. It's that literal like get off your butt and go. Like your goals are bigger than how you feel right now, right? So you know, get out the door and go. And you know, I've had just remind us like, hey, sometimes you get the energy to do the thing when you start doing the thing, right? You know, so if you don't feel like it now, give it 2 miles and you'll be feeling great, and you'll be glad you're out there and glad you're doing it.
Mhm.
And so
That's so true. Getting out the
true.
door sometimes is the half
Hardest
the
part.
battle.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like sometimes it's like she'll be at the trailhead. Like literally, like they're ready. She's got her pack, all of her nutrition. Like she is there.
I know where this is going.
And she'll be sitting there in her truck, texting me or sending me reels on Instagram, and just totally killing time. Like, and I'm like, no, like put your phone down. Like, get your butt running. Like,
That's
go.
actually happened multiple times this week. So this is fresh on him, but it happens a lot. But like this week, he's like, why are you still in your truck? Why? Like, I should show you our text thread. Like, it is hilarious this week. He's like, get moving. You know,
I'm just kind of tired today. It's been a heavy volume or this or that. I'm like, hey, like, yeah, 2 miles in, you'll be feeling great. Like, trust me, you'll be
so
fine.
true. So
Sometimes
true.
you need to hear the tough love. Like, get off your ass. Like, just
Yes,
go.
it is.
It's necessary.
It is so good. But then he's always willing, like, hey, like, what do you need me to do? Like, do you need me to bring you extra fuel? Do you need extra, like, this has been multiple times this week alone that he's been like, what can I do to support? You're not going to get out of it.
Yeah.
What can I do to help you? Like, I remember one day
if I need to go ride my mountain bike by her, you know. So then on race day, it's a mixed bag, right? It's a mixed bag of tough love. It's a mixed bag of being a cheerleader, comedian, stripper. You know, that's happened a few times. You know, where it's like, hey,
was the underwear pink in Europe?
Underwear.
Or was that? There's the story during the Great World Race. Right?
Oh, that one. That was Speedo. Yeah.
That was our anniversary.
Yeah.
Right. It was our
It was a
anniversary.
unicorn pink Speedo.
And so you know, I had to jump in. I had to give her a little something for our anniversary, right? So I stripped down to a Speedo and surprised her at one of the.
It was at
one
midnight.
Of the loops.
It
Yeah.
was at midnight. Right
Oh, that's right. It's right at midnight.
Yep.
Huh, 'cause it was a
And
late
it was
marathon.
raining. It was cold.
It was cold,
He
freezing.
still did it. But he's
Oh,
actually
man.
full stripper mode. Like, nobody else.
Oh, just my shoes. I had my shoes on. I had to try to go run at her.
He's great. He's great.
Do you want to tell that story?
I don't know. They seem to have an agenda, so
Okay.
maybe we don't want to.
No, I
Here,
want to hear
shut
the
up.
story. I want to hear the story.
I don't know if I've told this. There's no way I have. Because this one I have to like. I've given you guys action stories before that I have to stand up, right? Like and show. Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm not matching in my shorts though, so oh well.
Don't worry.
Oh man, the visuals. Okay, so this was during Pony Express. It was my third 100 that I needed to hit so that I could apply for Badwater. So Pony Express is a very small race, 100 miles.
Out in the middle of like the desert in Utah.
Not very many people are doing it. So I'm like way in the lead. Like, you know, there's nobody around. And I'm like running and I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom, you know? And I look around and I'm like, what does that sound? There's a drone ahead, like over my head. And I'm like, what the heck? I really gotta go to the bathroom. What is this drone doing, you know? And then I keep going. I'm like, it's going to go away. It's going to go. Their battery life only anyway. And then I turn a corner and about like it was probably a good half mile away. I see Maddie in the van, and I was like, oh, sweet. It was just Matt, no big deal. I'm like, there's a bathroom in the van. I'll just go there. So I start running, and then I see him jump out of the van, and like, there's still about a half mile between us. And he's running towards me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can go to the bathroom. I gotta see Matt. And then I'm like, what is he wearing? What is he wearing? And I was like, wait, he's not wearing anything. He's just wearing his shoes and his socks, and he's running. And I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And he's like, what? And he stops, and all I see is this like, he's like, do you want me to get the van? And I was like, yes. And he's like, do you want me to run towards you? And all I'm visualizing is this. And usually I make it like really like he's throwing over his shoulder, and he's just going back and forth. I'll get the van. I'll do this. And I'm laughing my head off, and I'm like, oh, I cannot hold this. And I nearly just crap my pants, and I'm like laughing so hard and drop my shorts right then and there when he's all trying to be cute and sexy, and I crap myself right in front of him, and he's just standing there naked as can be, and I'm like, yep.
What about the drone? What about the drone?
Yeah, well, we got it all on.
Well, no, I wish I had it on the drone. I had already landed the drone.
Okay.
I the drone to see where she was.
Okay, so it was you. I'm glad it was you,
Yeah.
not like somehow the race. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I did not make it to the van
because I was not just gonna go hang out there naked, like waiting for some random, maybe a truck was gonna drive. I don't know. So I was trying to fly the drone to find out exactly where she was. Yep, to make sure she was alone too.
Yes.
Nobody else was there because I didn't want to surprise anybody else on the race. And so yeah, I landed the drone and then I went running after her.
That's too good.
Okay, good.
It's too bad. I would have left
Actually,
it.
your visuals. Your visuals are
Oh,
great.
that's
I'm like throwing it over my shoulder, He loves it when we tell this
It's
story.
the only time, she can tell one of those big fish stories, right? Because every time she tells it, I get larger and larger.
I'm glad Eric shut up for that one.
We are on
Thank
YouTube.
you.
Just to remind you, the visuals were so good.
I'm here for it.
Pretty soon it'll go from like this to like me tripping on it.
It'll be like an elephant trunk.
Well, I mean, woo. It was
Oh
the best.
man.
Yeah, but I have no idea what to do because I was trying to be cute and fun and sexy, like do something to surprise her. And here she is. She's like, I can't get the fan. I can't hold it anymore. And I'm like, well, crap. Well, what do I do? The van at this point, was a quarter mile away, and I missed it. So
You didn't miss my show though. You got my show. I got yours. You got mine. But yours just wasn't as attractive as mine.
Anyway, so race days are. I'm going back. Yeah, race days are a mixed bag of nudity, motivation, and sometimes both all at once.
Do you kind of know when to do it? Like, do you kind of know when to be a hard ass and when to be funny? Or like, you kind of know, like, does she always have, like, does her mood change? And you always know when it's going to change in a race at what point?
Now I think I nail it pretty good. Like I've learned, there are definitely times where I've made the mistake, of thinking she needed one over the other and she didn't. But I think at least over the last few years, I think I've nailed it, right?
You've done really good. Except for when you yelled at me really bad at jackpot and you pissed me off.
No, that's what you needed. You needed that.
That's what I needed, but he pissed me off.
Was that this time around when you were going for the attempt?
Yeah. Well, I was mad. I was like, did you just say that to me?
What did I say?
You said, we're going off of their time. Get over it. And
control what you can
control. And keep running.
Control your pace,
and
control your attitude.
Yeah. And to get over it. You said get over it. And I was like,
yeah, because there were timing issues on it. So every time she was crossing the timing chip, it's a mile loop. So she's seeing it pretty much every 1.2 miles, which is very, like every 8 minutes. And every 8 minutes it's sticking to her head like something's off. Like my watch is telling me, it was like, she was like miles ahead. And the tracking was telling me that like I'm like 3 miles behind. And like I've if we're going off of their timing chip, like I don't have very much of a buffer. Like I can't make any mistakes now for the next 40 plus miles. Like I have to hit, whatever.
Yeah,
that pace
I know. I
was.
was freaking out. I was like,
And
go
so
for it,
I was trying to figure it out with them on the timing issues, and she was throwing a fit, and so that's when she needed that, like, listen, like, quick, hey, get over, like, control what you can control. You can control your pace, you can control your effort, like you haven't lost anything, like you're still on target, right? So control your attitude, and just go. Let me figure it out. And it took her a half a mile. I think she said that she was mad at me.
I was mad. I was legit mad. I don't get mad very easy, but I was mad. I was like, get over it.
And then what? But then what happened?
I did. I was like, he's right. We have to go off of their time, not my time. My time, like, it's not going to do anything. According to them, I was averaging a 7:30.
Yeah.
And I needed to get the record. I needed a 7:35. So I still was on. And, but I'm like, according to my watch, I was averaging a 7:10. I'm like, that's a big difference. And I was like freaking out. And so I'm like, it took me 3 minutes, which was a hard 3 minutes. And I remember being like, he's right. It doesn't matter what my watch says. And I'm still on. Keep going 1 mile at a time. And then the next round, because I got to see him every 8 minutes because it's 1.2 miles. Matt was there at the timing chip, and he's like, hey, what does your watch say? And these are very quick, like, because I'm not stopping.
You're going, yeah.
Run next to me. He's like, I was like, my watch is saying this. And he's like, good news. They fixed it. Like, everything was updated. You're averaging a 7:10. And I was like, so I changed my attitude before I found out. And I was so proud of myself because I was, And anyway, and he took care of it. Like, he said he was going to try, but there's no guarantees. You can't control that.
Yep.
And maybe my watch was wrong, but it wasn't. Anyway, so I was proud of myself for doing that. And it was what I needed, because I was like, you never know what's going to happen. And you can only control one thing, and that's your attitude. And everything else, if you can't, why stress about what you can't control? And I was stressing. And I was legit like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, do I stop? But then I was like, I don't know why I said that, because I wasn't going to stop. And he's like, get over it, It was great. It was great. It was what I needed. But he hasn't talked to me like that in a race. And I was like, he doesn't talk to me like that ever usually, So it caught me off guard. But I'm like, I needed an attitude check. And you never know when that's going to happen in races. And so it was a good reminder to, like, my attitude is under my control, nobody else's. And it can make or break my day. And everything else, just let it go. So
that's a really good lesson. Yeah. And I've come across that myself. Like, even Eric, if he comes to my races, he can tell what kind of mood I'm in. Like, he knows when not to tease me.
I fucked that up before.
See, but now, because I was like in a terrible crying mood, and he goes to tease me, and I'm like, like, I just was like, don't talk to me. And then he's like,
there was this race. It's called the Hamster Wheel. It's in New Boston, New Hampshire. And she's trying, I don't know if you've done your first 100 yet, but she's trying to get 100. And I showed with my boys, there may be 3, and we're on the trail. And I'm like, hey, boys, give her a high five and everything. And she's walking up. She's like, not now, dude. I'm not in the mood. And I'm like, get the kids here. Like, this should cheer you up.
It was my third attempt at this race, trying to hit 100 miles. And runner's math was not working with me, so I didn't think I could do it. And I was like an emotional mess. And I was just like, I can't handle you guys right now. I'm so sorry. But, like, I was like, no teasing me. I can't do it. And after that, I got in a better mood because I was making some poop jokes myself. So
why'd you get in a better mood? Tell them the real reason.
Oh, I had to poop, and I did. So I was like, I have to poop. Woo! Like, that was a game changer. But
isn't it?
Like, literally, those moves are the mood is just a roller coaster during those long attempts, and sometimes you do need a check.
And one more thing on moods, actually. Like, okay, we talk about Ashley's mood or Erica's mood while you're in the race, but Maddie, like, how does your mood change while supporting? Like, do you ever get, like, mad, aggravated, or do you need cheering up something? Like, I know you have a team, sometimes like Badwater, I think Ashley, your sister, was
Oh, the
with
whole
you too,
crew.
part of your team. How is the mood of the crew? And how do you keep yourself in line to focus on the goal?
Yeah.
Man,
Ash is getting the popcorn back out. Yeah, yep.
multifaceted question right there, right? Because like I try to like compartmentalize my own feelings during race day, and I found myself even with the crew that like it's almost like I'm coaching a NBA team, or like actually like a team, not just like one person, because I'm trying to keep her going, right, and figure out what she needs, and whether it is that motivation, hard love, XYZ, you name it, and then sometimes it's also I have to like keep the crew going too, because they're not family. I mean, they're great friends, and I mean she has a sister's family, but like they have their own lives and their own stresses, and it's not like some of them like want to be out there for 3 or 4 days, or it sounds fun in the beginning, but when they're in it, it's like, man, this is a lot of hard work. And
the organization of everything must be just like
we haven't
stressful on its
slept.
own.
We're hungry. We need attention. We need whatever.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I've had to like do that for Ashley, but then do it for everybody else. And it really is kind of going into this coach mode where I put everything that I'm feeling aside, and I don't address it until after the race, right? Which is sometimes hard. In fact, I actually read this last week and I actually really liked it. It was an article on the local news station here in Utah about a guy who set a record doing the I think he's the first one ever to climb all 7 highest peaks and swim the 7 channels. And I don't know what the 7 channels are, right? But they're miles and miles and miles long,
Right.
Yeah.
So they're hours and days long swimming events too. And his wife is his crew person, and she has this little quote in the article that says, being a crew chief or crewing should be, if you're doing it right, just as hard as the event that the person is doing. And I agree with that, because like there's sometimes after the race that I feel just as depleted as she is. And but it's a different depletion. Maybe she's more physically depleted, but like I've given everything, mentally, emotionally, and everything for longer than she was out there racing, right? Because I'm also like making, pre-race, making sure she's taken care of, right? Making sure she's eating, staying off of her feet, hydration. She gets chatty, right? So, I'm over there. Okay, hey, it's time to move away. Like we got to get you off your feet, get you ready. Taking care of dinner, making sure she's going to bed, the right time, right? Doing all that stuff pre-race, going into the race, and then even post-race, where there's races where she's so physically depleted that I'm over there like literally picking her up, carrying her because she's passed out. It's like, okay, let's get you, into the van. Let's carry you into the hotel bed. Oh, let's wake up at 2 a.m. because you tried to get out and go to the bathroom on your own, and now you're laying on the carpet for needing help to get up. Okay, I'll go pick you up.
These are
all true stories.
Like blackout, not fall asleep. Like I blackout. It's weird. And
because
he's found me like in the corner of a room. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Yeah. And so that's part of my crew chief responsibilities. Right. And so, on a 2-day race, my crewing is actually 4 or 5 days. Anyway, so I leave it all out there also. And so anyway, going back to that quote, like I love it. Like I really do. If you're a good crew chief, like your crewing should be just as hard as the event that they're doing. Like that's how much effort you should be putting into crewing. And if you're not putting in that kind of effort, you're doing your athlete a disservice, in my opinion. And I know these are all volunteers, and some people don't have husbands or wives or people who care being their crew chief, which makes it a little bit easier maybe. But like you should be giving that level of effort to your athlete as a crew chief.
I want to take this opportunity, because you're here, Maddie, to say thank you to all of the crew out there, because being an endurance athlete is difficult on its own. Like we have our own stuff to do, but having a crew back you up like that, especially with that level of determination, is so valuable that I don't think you guys get enough thanks for everything. So just know us athletes appreciate you so much, because we couldn't do what we do without you. So thank you. Crews
You're
everywhere.
welcome.
You're
Hey,
wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah.
Amen.
Thank you for saying
A
that.
to the men.
Yep. Thank you for saying that, because like I do think it's true. Like just as like I don't know what it feels like to go do a 12-hour 100-mile run, right?
Yes,
Like
sir.
we've had these conversations where I'm like, you really don't understand what it's like to be in my shoes, during these events, and
Mhm.
on the other side of it, where there's that mental stress of, I look at some of these races and I'm like, where's that borderline between like being worried and concerned of how hard she's pushing, being her husband, right?
Mhm.
And like
Mhm.
wanting a wife to be by my side until I'm, even more hairless, as I'm older, where's that line? And that's the struggle that I've been asked a lot of times. It's like, when do you as your husband be like, dude, like this is enough. Like you're borderline, like doing some damage to yourself out here, and, and that's a line that I've had to try to walk very finely, because I see the amount of effort that goes into her dreams, right? Everything that she puts into it. And I would never want to be the one to stop her from chasing her dream.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think recently I was asked it, and it kind of dawned on me that like, I think that line for me is like when I look in her, if I ever look in her eyes and I can see that there's no fight left, right? That would be when I would be like, okay, it's time to pull it, and not encourage and push and motivate her to keep on going. And so there's been times where I've wanted to pull her out, of a race, but looking at the fight in her eyes, it's like, okay, it's not what I want, it's what she wants. So, Matt, put your own feelings aside and,
Right.
and yeah, give her what she needs right now, right? Either the motivation, the whatever to keep going. And that's happened multiple times, especially at all of her records. Because I mean, whenever you're trying to break a record, like, and do something nobody's ever done, that means you're putting your body into a spot of just sheer fatigue and putting it through something that nobody's ever gone through. Mm-hmm. And so you are going to reach those edges of what's humanly possible. And when you do that, you're going to face some potentially dangerous situations.
Well, that actually brings up something I want to ask. And have you ever had to make those tough decisions or have those hard conversations? Because I know when you set the 100-miler at the Boston Marathon Expo, you were planning on running the marathon 2 days later, like less than 36 hours later. And I know you backed out of that. And do you ever have those hard conversations with each other and make those decisions, like bigger picture, the Boston Marathon was going to be a fun thing. Instead, you hung out at like the 5th floor of Justin, our buddy of ours, and you had a party at the finish line watching from above. Like, but take us to those hard conversations. Have you had those before and pulled out of things, whether it was a big race or a fun race?
Yeah, well, Boston was one that I really wanted to do. And he's like, look at the rest of the year. Like, what does Boston, what will that do for the rest of your year? If anything, it's going to set you back, because I was so sore. And like, if I wasn't feeling like that way, he could physically see how I was feeling. Not like I didn't need to say a word. He's like, the way you're walking, he's like, you're asking for injury. And then what is that going to do for the rest of the year? He's like, don't give up what you want today for what you want the rest of the year. And I'm like, sometimes that's just hard for me to hear, but it's also like, okay, this wasn't one of my core races this year. The words I struggled to say, you're right. You're right. And not do those. And he's had to have those discussions with me a lot for my little races to the side, especially this year being so many big events I don't just have one A race. I've got 8 A races, and so he's like, why are we doing this? Like, is it going to support the rest of your goals? Is it going to support? And if it's not, cut it. And so I've done better this year doing that, like just.
But
really
also, we'll to be clear, I'll provide counsel, right? But ultimately, it's always been her decision,
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so that there's some things that I think it's dumb that she does anyway, and but it's also that's another fine line between, like, you know, being supportive and providing counsel and all that stuff, and being that voice in her head. Because I also know she gives my voice a lot of weight as she makes decisions. And you know, and I've said this before, you know, to her, to other conversations, but one of my favorite lines in a movie is in Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. And, you know, he's talking to his son, and I think they're up on the roof playing basketball or something like that, you know, and he talks to his son. He says something like this. He says, son, like, don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do something or you can't achieve your dreams, even me. Right. You know, like, as your father. And so for me, I've kind of taken that to heart too. Is like with her, it's like, don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't achieve your dreams, even me. You know, because sometimes, like, I might have my own view of things, or my own thing of, like, I think that's crazy. I think you might be asking for some injury. I think, you know, this or that, you know, but ultimately trusting her as an athlete, and being like, okay. And after she says, hey, no, I think I can do this, or I want to do this. And it's like, okay, I've given you my advice or my counsel, what I thought. You still want to do it? Okay, great. Now my mind, you know, you heard me out and you still want to do it anyway. So now I'm going to throw my full 100% support behind it, and go help you now, you know, get that.
Yeah. There's the team thing again. Like, you guys just play off each other so well. Like, Ashley, you know your body better than anyone else. So you know what you're ultimately feeling, but Maddie can see sometimes the bigger picture, because I am as bad as everyone else, where even if I'm not feeling my best and I have a race coming up, like, it's so hard to drop out of something like that when it's something you look forward to and it's just on your calendar. But sometimes that voice of reason needs to shine through. And it's, I know it's just difficult, but you guys will play off each other. And, like, if it comes to heads, like, yes, I'll listen to you, but I'm going to do my own thing. And that's how it's supposed to work.
Just finding that line, like, hey,
the balance too.
Him seeing other things too, like, even jackpot. Not this year, but the last year I was out running. I don't know if we've talked about that one, but, like, I didn't finish it.
Oh,
I know, right? Like,
well, so sometimes that's important. Like, if you know, like, hey, this is not going to serve me in the long run, it's for the best.
Maddie, like, he came out with, it was like mile 60-ish, and I was like, I just got over my hip tear, and
that's
I'm, like,
right,
starting to feel it, and I'm like, why? I'm like, I don't need to be. This was just a fun. I'm not going for any record. I haven't been training for this one particular. He's like, it's okay. Yeah. You're okay. Like, gives me that permission almost, not to be a quitter, because I don't look at it that way. I actually feel like I was a very smart athlete that day, but I did have his voice being like, you're okay. And it's the first time I've not finished races before because I've wrecked or, you know, whatever, but like, my first time ever choosing,
like, voluntarily
to be like, here's my bib, I'm done. And I'm like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow feeling so much regret, almost embarrassed. People knew I was doing this. They're going to be like, she's a quitter. And I'm like, but I woke up the next day being like, today my hip doesn't hurt. I'm able to run. I'm not injured. And, like, there was nothing on the line at that race. Like, why? And then the next year I come back and I got the world record. And, you know, would that have happened had I you just never know. You just never know. And I'm like, but yeah, I remember at mile 60, he's like, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
especially when injuries on the line, like, that's huge.
He never said
it's
that.
Not
like
an A race. Like, I wouldn't have said, like,
he would have said it
like
at the Great
an A
World Race.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm in Miami, like the 7th marathon around the world in 7 days, like, he sees me limping. He didn't say one thing about me quitting. He's just like, you know, pain. Now this is a different pain. Let's get through 26.2 miles. And I mean, and I wasn't even limping at the jackpot one. And he's like, why do this? But, like, so he knows when to be pushing. Right. That one, yes, you're going to finish it. You know, how we're going to get through it, you know, pain. Let's just dial it differently. And then jackpot, he's like, why? Like, let's go out to eat and, you know, call it 60 miles. You got 60 miles, you know?
Just a good training day.
Yeah, just a good training day.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, so he knows when to do those things and when to, like, not. And it just helps me step back and be like, take a look and be like, it's okay. You're not a quitter because you didn't finish. I stopped it, but it was smart. It was the best decision for sure. But
I really respect someone who can just say, I'm good. I can drop out of this because I don't want to do any further damage, or I don't want to aggravate anything. Like that's a real strength in my book. And it's so hard to do. It's so hard to do.
I think it's harder than finishing a race sometimes, like being like, but also I don't like, oh, it's hard, I'm going to quit. Oh, I'm not getting my time, I'm going to quit. I'm not in the lead, I'm going to quit. Because I mean, I was winning the race. It wasn't that I was winning. I was just, but I'm like, why? I don't need this win. Because what if I can't walk tomorrow now? Because my hips back where
bigger picture. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
You two have been so gracious with your time. Ashley, especially 5 episodes now. Like maybe we're topping 10 hours. But I have to ask some questions about Harvey. And I want to know, because I met you. I actually didn't meet you there, but I was crew supporting in Ironman Mount Tremblant 2017. And that's the first time I remember seeing Ashley, and she had a pink bike. She did not have pink hair. I'm pretty sure it was blonde or something.
Okay, I was born this way, Eric.
Yeah. We'll edit that out, the pink hair, no pink hair. But no, I remember being there, and then I think what happened was I remember seeing you and the bike and stuff, and I'm crewing for my buddy Scott. And then like Ironman reshared your story because you were a pro triathlete at the time, or you're posting the story. So I start following, and you're living in an RV. You name the RV Harvey. You'll be on a stationary bike trainer right behind Maddie, like looking at the open road, eating candy and cheese balls and just snacks.
You've been around for a while.
I know.
I've been following you since then. And just when I got Ashley to come on forever ago, I was like, this is huge. And Erica did not know who she was. Like, this is huge.
But now I know and love you. So
But I want to hear some stories from the road. And this doesn't have to be a race story, but like, what was it like living in an RV? How long did you do it? How did you even decide? Like, did you sell your home and buy an RV? Like, because I know you now have like Harvey 3.0, which is this epic like camping van. And I know you love the outdoors, Maddie, and you want to go to Alaska soon. Maybe you already did, but tell me some stories from the road.
And I need to know if you guys ever got sick of each other being in such close quarters, because I feel like I probably would, but you guys are just so much more like epic and so.
Sick of this? Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
The close quarter. I just need to know the details.
Ever.
Yeah, no, so I think, it kind of started, I think a lot of people are this way, like where, they've kind of have looked at each other, their couple, their partner in life and said, oh, it'd be kind of fun to go travel the country in an RV one day, right? And we had kind of said that before, like, oh, that'd be kind of fun, go see America and go do this and go explore and adventure. But it's always something you kind of think of, oh, we'll do it like when we're retired or older or whatever.
One day.
Yeah, one day we'll do it. And it was 2016, I think is when we did it, right? Yeah, I think it's 2016. Yeah. And we were leasing a house, and our lease was coming up. We had like 3 months to decide if we were going to renew the lease, if we were living up in northern Utah at the time, if we were going to move back to St. George, go buy a house, go rent another house. Anyway, just nothing felt right. But the days just kept on, chipping away. We got closer and closer to our lease expiring, and it was almost 6 weeks out. And we're like, man, like if we don't make a decision soon, we're going to be living in a trailer park. And that was when the light bulb moment went off. And it's like,
we're both like,
why not? Let's go live in a trailer park. And so we did quick research, and we bought a motorhome like 2-3 weeks later, and decided to put everything into storage, everything that we wanted to keep anyway, and got rid of a ton of stuff, and gave our kids one like plastic bin. We said, all right, this is all you get,
here's
for
your stuff.
Motorhome. Yep. And
put in what you want,
and let's go.
Everything else goes.
Yeah. And she had just started racing professionally in Ironman. And so it's like, great. Hey, let's just go. We'll go hit some of these races. And as we're going, we'll just stop and explore, along the way. And we did it for almost like just shy of 2 years. And like we loved it. Like sometimes I look back on it and I still can't believe we did it, because I look at it and I think about doing it again. And as much as I want to, I hesitate. So I'm like, man, that was a commitment. Like, how did we ever do that? And I almost don't want to go live in it for 2 years again.
It was great.
It was
a
awesome.
long time.
Yeah, it was just a long time. And but it's super fun. Like, yeah, going from race to race to race, from city to city. The kids had a great time. I never got sick of her. Maybe she got sick of me, and maybe that's why she's on the road running and riding so long.
So there were 6 of you there, though. Like, that's so, like...
And I think that's what people imagine, is that we're just in the RV, like driving all day, but that's not how it was. Like,
Good.
we would drive for like a day somewhere, and then we'd be planted there for 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, in 2 years, like, we only put like 10,000 miles on the RV, you know, and that's not that much.
No.
You know, like, if you think about, like, it's 2,400 miles just to go from coast to coast or something like that. But it would be like a 5-hour, 6-hour drive, and then we're there for 2 or 3 weeks.
That's nice.
And then we're only in the RV at night, like to sleep. It's not like we're, you know, hanging out in the RV. Like, we're out exploring. We were outside, you know, so it's not how people imagine it, I think, you know. It's like, oh, that's just sleeping quarters. Everything else, I mean, yeah.
I loved it.
Which was fun.
I mean, that's what I want to do one day.
See, one
do
day,
it.
like, just do it.
Don't one day it. Do it.
It's
one day is now.
I told Erica I can podcast from anywhere. I mean, I've podcasted with her all around the world, and I could get an RV one day when my kids are older and do it, and just say, hey, you know, every Monday night I'm recording for 2 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That, because he worked online, and so it didn't, and I worked at races. That was, you know, so it works. It doesn't work.
And it's even easier now. Like, I wish we had like a Starlink back in 2016, you know, because that was probably my biggest challenge sometimes, was finding a strong enough signal to get work done. But nowadays, like, with our Starlink, we have a Starlink now in our camper van. It will be up at 9,000 feet and no cell service anywhere. And I'll be getting, you know, work done, or we could do Zoom calls. I could do a podcast call, you know, there. And then right after, she could be getting elevation training in and be running all day long. And so, man, it's so much easier nowadays to go off and go do that.
So we vote to it, Eric. Get out there.
Go do it.
I'm going to visit you in St. George.
I was going to say, if you ever need to do a podcast here and use the house, like, you're more than welcome.
I almost did this one day. You were only on the podcast once. If it was today, I would have totally done it. But I was in Utah for work. But I was in Price, Utah. You know where Price is?
Yeah.
Right. I think I Googled, like, how far from St. George, not just because you're there, because it's St. George.
It's safe.
Like, next time, even if it's just for lunch,
I would love it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm making the drive.
Please.
Do it.
That would be amazing.
Do it. Yep. Don't fly into Salt Lake. Yeah. Fly down here and drive up if you need to.
Yes, exactly. I did spend, because I had a day. The reason I did all this, I had a day. I did go to Arches for the day by myself. It was great. It was so great, like, exploring and seeing. That was, I mean, in New England, we have a ton of amazing places to see, but we only have one national park, I think, Acadia. Like, that national park, Arches, was impressive.
Right?
That was impressive. And then next door, you had one next door. I forget the name. Was like
Canyonlands.
Canyonlands. Yeah.
And then Horseshoe Bend, we got.
That's down closer to us.
Yeah. And Zion.
Zion, Bryce. Yeah, they're all beautiful.
So great.
Erica, anything else for Ashley and Maddie before we get to our final 2 questions?
Ooh.
No.
I'm excited.
All right. I'll get to our final 2 questions, brought to you by My Race Tats. Ashley kind of knows what's coming up, and I change mine every year, but I've kind of changed mine for this series. And I kind of want to know, Maddie, really I want Maddie's answer. But I'm asking all these couples who are part of this summer series, what do you do? Not what do you do to support each other, but what advice would you give to another couple in a similar situation as you, or who's trying? So Maddie, really for you is like, if there's this girl who's going to do her first Ironman, what would be the support you would give, especially if, like, this girl is serious about it? What would be the support you'd give to their partner, or the advice you would give to their partner who's supporting, you know, their girl doing their first Ironman or first ultramarathon? What advice would you give them?
Oof. Okay, yeah. I wish I had more time to prepare for this one.
I'm terrible at my job and giving you a heads up.
No, that's okay. Oh gosh, I would say, first, enjoy the journey, from day one to the end, and remember that. And I don't want to be sound like a broken record, but but it is something where every relationship you support each other, right? And in this example, Eric, where you gave, where it's the wife, or the girl out there, doing it, there's times in her partner's life that she was there supporting, him, in their journey, whatever that was. They had a crazy goal. They had a crazy hobby. They have rec league basketball tournaments that, she's there cheering him on. There's so many times in life that I'm sure she put her own desires aside for them, embrace that entire journey and be there for them, recognizing that they've been there for you. And that's what will draw you closer together. And that's what will keep your relationship stronger and moving forward without the need for any type of, negativity or resentments or whatever else. So, embrace it and just jump right into it.
Especially the whole journey. It's not just race day. It's
No,
like
the
day
whole
one of
journey.
training. Yeah.
Day
A lot
one
of
from,
training.
day
Good and
one,
bad.
every gel that gets bought, every tri kit that gets looked at, it's like, oh, maybe I should race in this one. What do you think I look like in this one? Every race kit, every tri kit, every hair color change.
I was just going to
Right.
say, what was your reaction
What do you
when she
mean?
went to pink?
With it.
Yeah, I actually don't remember.
So she's trained me for many years to expect the unexpected. And so I probably walked in and I was like, okay, all right, we're going
tracks.
pink for a while. Great. And I,
For a while.
and yeah, and
A
for
while.
well,
We thought
yeah,
it was only going to be a
who
few
knows?
months.
I didn't know it was going to be
Still
8 years.
going, still
or whatever
going.
it's been.
Was it your son who was like, you're not going to keep this, please, Mom?
Yeah, he did not like my pink hair. He loves it now, but for years he's like, if you're gonna do anything, go back blonde or blue. Now he's like, I can't believe I
Now
wanted
he
you to
can't
go blue.
remember.
That's your
Yeah.
signature color now. You can't.
Yeah,
You've got to
like,
keep
he's
it.
just like, that's all he knows. But I do remember my very first race pink, it was Boulder Ironman, and him being like, I loved that I knew it was you.
Yes.
We
That
all
part
look
is
the same.
nice.
We all
Yeah.
look the same. We got a helmet when we're like in our little tight little spandex and bikes, and he's like, I knew it was you. And I was like, ooh, I like that.
Yeah, you could see her coming from a ways away.
Yeah.
And
It's
at
true.
Ironman, you know how Ironmans are. It's
Yeah.
like, push on the bike or whatever. Like, you see them for like 2 seconds. You look down at your phone and they could be gone.
Yeah.
So
When I was crewing my buddy Scott in that Mount Tremblant Ironman, he had this ugly green helmet. And it was
Oh,
perfect. And
right.
he got he realized how good he was, and he just missed Kona by that much.
Oh,
He invested in all this other stuff, and the whole story of the road to Kona is amazing because like broken bones and crashes and epicness. But he invests, and he got this boring white and gray Aero helmet. And then next year at the same race, I'm like, dude, you passed me. I didn't even know you passed me because I don't know what to look for because you look like everybody else. So it's true.
yep. So
Everyone's going to see you flying around with the pink
you
hair.
come from a mile away, and you'll probably hear me coming because I'm a little loud. But
Never change, Ash.
thank you.
All right. So I actually did think of another question after, but I'm going to ask my final question and then I'll ask you the other one. But so I don't know if you remember, we have that Spotify playlist. So I've changed up my question a tiny bit. So instead of asking you each for a song to add, I want to know what your song is together. Like, do you have a wedding song or a song that just like describes the two of you? I want to put that on the playlist.
Oh man,
she's the music junkie more.
I
Like,
am the music junkie.
Yeah, she feels the music more.
I do.
She learns the lyrics more. Yeah, so I'll let her.
Oh God, Nolan, what the feel is of this week? Because
You want to?
man, like there's been this new artists that came out, and I'm like, it's not my typical music.
Mhm.
And it's like this love story, and it's like so hard. Like honestly,
It's
like
kind of like a rocky type,
yeah,
like rocky,
yeah.
rock, grungy, like I don't know, kind of
yeah.
hard,
And
a
I'm
little
more of a
edgier,
punk
little
rock.
edgier.
I'm a punk rock. I mean, I'm all punk rock. Give me that punk. And when I heard it, I was like, oh my gosh. And then it just kept going. Like, it's like chapter 2. And then it's like the finale. And I'm like, oh, this is such a beautiful love story. But it's like 20 minutes, like of all 4 of these songs.
Oh,
And
wow.
some people are going to like be like, this is too much. Like, they feel too much. Like they're obsessed with each other. And I'm like, but I love it. And it's called, yes.
No, the artist is called Dark Ardor, like Ardor, Dark
Yeah.
Ardor.
And then it's called Yes Ma'am, like the series. And then there's a Yes Sir of her singing.
Oh.
And it's interesting because I'm like, don't call me ma'am. But now I'm like, okay, you can call me ma'am. Anyway, there's like this storyline. Anyway, that's been our feel this week. And we both just feel it super hard. And so I'm like, it's a love story. And yeah, it's going to be a lot for some people. But for us, it's like, it's a great one for us right now.
I love it.
Like, no joke, like that. She literally listened, like on her ride yesterday. She probably listened to it for 4 or 5 hours of her bike ride.
Aw.
Like every 20, it gets 20 minutes long, right, with all 4 songs together. So every 20 minutes, you're repeating it. For like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
So
That's so cute.
music is a big part of like your training and everything, Ashley, right? I got something for you later then. I'll talk to you offline. But
Huge for
Please.
Ash. Yep.
Huge.
yeah, well, you're going to like what I got for you. And but you also mentioned don't call me ma'am. You're grandparents now. I remember when my mom was like, I don't want to be grandma. What are the grandkids going to call you?
You know, it's funny.
We're young. We're not even close to 50 yet. Like,
Well, he is. He gonna be 49 Friday.
yeah, but well,
happy early birthday.
July birthdays are the best.
Yeah. But
Listen,
you know,
this head makes us look like we're 39.
exactly.
I'll go for 29. If I let it grow
Hey,
for 2
we're
days,
29 forever. I'm never turning anything other than
29.
Yeah, still in my 20s too.
29.
I don't know, Maddie, if you're like me, but if I let my hair grow 2 days, I feel like I age 5 years.
He
Yeah.
looks older for sure.
Yeah, I pretty much shave it every day.
10 years every time I shave.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, exactly. But I already forget oh yeah, what are the grandkids going to call you? Have you thought of this?
Yes. And I've had people say like, okay, like you can't be grandma. Like
You're not a grandma and you're not a grandpa. No way.
I know, but honestly, that does not bother me because I'm like, I love that I'm a grandma. And so like I was like, yeah, Gramsy, and I like it with a Z, like that's cute. But I'm like, I really don't like it. Doesn't it's like some people it really bothers them, but I'm like, because they're like, oh, because that makes me feel old. I'm like, but I don't feel old. It's weird. But I'm like, I'm a freaking grandma, baby. And it's the weirdest thing because people like you just said, you're like, you're not grandma and grandpa. But I'm like, but I am, and I'm kind of freaking proud of it. Like, so it doesn't bother me if she calls me grandma, but I think she'll call me Grams with
That's
a
Grams.
so cute.
Yeah.
but it's got to be with a Z.
So,
because
and
that's-
for me, it's different. It's like I have the mentality of like, I don't care what you call me, just call me. Right?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yep.
Sounds
You know,
so
like-
cute.
I just want, I want a relationship with my kids and grandkids, that, just call me whatever you want. Just call me.
I love that.
It's so cute. Ew.
So I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I mean, I do, but I don't. But I just want to hear a little bit about your 200 that you just did, Ash.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Ooh.
Oh, it was hard. A little bit. Okay, I got my goal, which was my main goal because I want to go for the record for the Triple Crown this year. So
Oh my gosh.
the goal isn't to win all of these. I want to win the overall. Like,
Oh yeah.
and so I'm like, okay, as long as I'm between 55 to 60, I'm in that range. But we got the low end of that. I was struggling with a cold for like 2 weeks before, and it turned into something nasty. There's a thing called Tahoe lung there, and then whatever was coming out of my mouth as I was coughing was definitely not just Tahoe lung. It was insane. I was breathing through a straw the last 100 miles, but it was also like this beautiful feeling of like, this is so new. I even told one of my patients, I was like, I know, I'm like, we're walking so slow, but this is such a new experience. It's not muscle pain. It's not diarrhea. I'm like, I can't breathe.
Oh no.
And it was like, I'm grateful for those experiences, those new things. And I knew every, 10 hours I was going to see this guy and, just chipping away. But it was not a very pretty race. What I went through physically, but it was beautiful course and harsh terrain from mile 50 to 100, like no trail because it was a burnt area. So they had the whole loop back and nobody's been on that part of the trail for years since the big fire. 20. And so we're going over, like, not just going over logs, but we are climbing over trees and like, you're not running, but like, and then I'm dealing with whatever this crap is that's coming out of my lungs. Like, it was disgusting. I've never seen like it. And my poor crew it's getting documented by iFit. They're like right up in my face. And I'm like,
what's the cool thing is that, so yeah, it's kind of our own shameless plug, for a sponsor, right? With iFit.
Do it.
iFit this year, which I'm really excited about because I feel like I've had a front row seat to like this amazing documentary, watching her race at all these races for years. And finally it's happening. So, iFit decided to jump in and they're doing a short 4-part documentary on Ash, and they're recording all 3 of the Triple Crown. And so they'll be there capturing, all the behind the scenes.
Just got goosebumps. Oh my God, Ash.
Yeah.
Ugly. Which they're like, we love this.
Yeah.
Pop up some more.
You'll see a lot of like ugly behind the scenes, type stuff. And I'm super excited about it. 'Cause like I said, like people don't get to see what I've seen. And I really believe like I've seen like this crazy documentary and I'm like the only person that's had a front row seat to it. And now everybody gets to see it. And this one was pretty bad. Like there were a lot of times where even myself, I was genuinely concerned because of how bad her breathing was, on this one. And, tried to get her to, to stop for like a good hour. Like I was trying, this is one of those times I was trying to be forceful. I'm like, dude, we need to stop. We need to try to take care of this.
Right.
And I had a whole like med tent set up for her. Like I went and bought a humidifier, bought like, a ton of like vapor rub stuff, like try to do anything to like triage it out in the wilderness and get her breathing a little bit better to get her going. But yeah, it was a gnarly event for sure.
Yeah. But we got it done. And I was happy most of the time. I remember one time at my 10 miles to the finish. And my pacer, bless his heart, Amin, he was so patient, planning to be out there with me till for, maybe 15 hours, but it ended up being almost 24 hours for him out there of seeing some gross stuff. And I was like, he was talking to somebody else. And I kind of got I didn't have a voice left. And usually we'd kind of jog the flats and then we'd hike or crawl up these hills. And it came to a flat section and he was still talking. And I'm like, we've got to run. I'm like, in my raspy voice. And I was like, I just want to get this done. And then I reminded myself I tell people, don't wish for it to be over. Don't wish for it to be over. Wish to enjoy the moment you're in, find joy in the moment you're in. And right as I said, I want it to be done, I was caught myself because I said it out loud and I'm like, sometimes you're going to think that, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I just went against everything that I preach to everybody. I'm like, love the moment you're in. Yes, you're going to go through hell and back, but that's why we do it. And I afterwards, I didn't have the energy to apologize at that time. Cause I wasn't mean, but I was just like, I want to just get this done. And almost crying, and he's like, okay, okay, yeah, we'll run, thank you. Let's run. And so afterwards I apologized. I usually don't. He's like, Ashley, I didn't think anything of it.
I can't be held responsible for my emotions right now.
But I was like, no, we find joy in the moment. We find joy in the hard. We find joy in because that's why we don't do 100 miles because it's easy and we're going to bliss through it. We do it because we're going to challenge ourselves. We're going to push ourselves. We're going to feel the hard. And that's and you're going to feel those hard so much deeper because of all the depletion, and you're going to feel those highs so much higher. And that's what's the beautiful thing about like these longer endurance events is the feels. And so I try to stress that on people, like, don't wish for it to be over. And I remember I wished for it to be over.
Don't blame you at all.
And anyway, that was the moment I'm like, oh, I said it out loud. But it was the crew, the support, even IFIT being out there, they were so amazing. And I mean, the race was put on very well, but it was definitely a hard course this year. It's always hard, but like just different with all of there was no trail. There was no trail. There was a ton of bushwhacking. But yeah.
When does it come out? Do you know?
I think the first episode is going to be September, maybe late August. And then, then as they record, and I think everything will be done probably by January.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, because they'll do Bigfoot here in a few weeks or in a month, Bigfoot, and then Moab, and then Tunnel Hill at the very end. So
that's going to be awesome. It's going to be epic. I can't wait to watch. That's the kind of stuff I like
excited
to take in, that kind of content.
It shows like the real grit that goes behind it. It's raw. It's like, it just shows the true emotions behind these crazy big races. Like it is not all polished like you think it is. Like it's so.
If we had one
dirty,
bit of
gritty,
advice, all we always tell everyone is just spare no details in those. That's our typical thing. Spare no details. Like it's going to be incredible. I can't wait to watch it.
Thank you.
You two have been absolutely incredible. Ash, thank you for all your support. 5 times on the pod. I'm going to have to check myself. I can't wait to make it 6. Maddie, I hope this is not your one and only time. You're on just for your own episode. Like, you've done Ironmans, you've done races, you've done, I know the one, we didn't even talk about it because we've gone so long, but where you did in half Ironman and Ashley waited for you at the transition and she ran. Like, you were both competing. And then she ran with you. She might have been injured from the bike crash in Texas or something.
Probably,
That's a memory, Eric.
Yeah.
I've been a fan since the beginning, and I'm just so thrilled that you've supported us since the beginning. And then you did the Great World Race with not just Bex, who's a friend of ours on the pod too, but Justin, who lives a mile down the road from me.
Crazy.
And I go to his house a couple days a week and work out with him. So
no way.
If you're ever in New Hampshire
visiting
him, because I know like there's a guy from Boston. Oh my God, I follow him. I can't pronounce words, but his name is like Shosh or something. He did the Great Road Race with you. He's from Boston, starts with an S. He came and worked out. Tariq's been here a couple times and worked out.
Oh, Santa.
Yes, Santosh.
Okay.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
He works on my hip.
So I've gotten to meet these people, and I know he invites everyone to the gym. So when you do go, like, hit me up. Erica and we're going to take you out. Like, just thanks for all your support. And also, as a thanks to that, one, shameless plugs, right? We said Back in Action, the series sponsor, My Race Tats has been along with us for a while, but UFOs jumped on board for this series. And we're going to send you both a pair of UFOs.
Yes, I love them. I seriously live in them. So another pair would be amazing.
Yep.
Yes. We're going to hook you up. You're going to get them very soon. But thank you so much, guys. Erica, any final words for our amazing guests? Look at them right there.
Beautiful.
Yes,
you just don't send me gray, right? You just send me a different color. That's all.
You got it.
Guys.
But I just want to say, you guys, it is so awesome to see the partnership and the love that you share together and the life that you've built. It's just so inspiring, and just knowing the support that you have for each other. Like, I hope that couples everywhere can be more like you and just support each other, your dreams, and just I love everything you've built. It's so fun to watch. So just keep sharing. We'll follow along.
You guys are great. We love you. I've been a huge fan, and you've always just, light up my day when you're going to be on the pod. So, and I'm all about the poop that you guys send me anytime.
Thanks for always sparing no details. You guys understand
and decorating your daughter's car with our magnets.
I got it.
We love it.
The best.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed that as much as we have. Maddie and Ashley Paulson on the On the Runs podcast. That was wicked awesome.
Ooh, what an honor.
I know. They're so cute. I told you.
You guys are the sweetest.
Runners, whether you're training for your first 5K or your 10th marathon, injuries don't have to be part of the journey. At Back in Action in Concord, New Hampshire, we specialize in keeping runners like you healthy, strong, and on the road. We put together a free run guide covering injury prevention and recovery, built specifically for runners. Download it free, find the link in the show notes. Don't wait until something hurts. Get the guide, stay in the game.
Ash and Maddie, you guys were an absolute joy to have on the podcast. This was like another dream conversation. You guys are so much fun. You always deliver. You spare no details. Like, as we said before, you're welcome.
No details.
You're welcome anytime.
Watch if you want. I almost debated, like, do I cut that out of the YouTube? The visuals.
Oh, no, you can't.
Ashley backed away from the camera. She stood up. Should I clip that in its own YouTube clip? She's
like
doing
you
the
have
visuals.
to.
It's like she's throwing a
Oh
fire
my God.
hose over her shoulder.
Just watch. Dang. Oh my God. That story had me cracking up.
That was
Ugh.
so good. I don't think she's ever shared that on a podcast before, she said. That was incredible.
I'm glad that we're just exclusive worthy. So the more the merrier.
I need to thank, both of them, but really Ashley and then Maddie for just how incredible they are with their time. The first time we ever had Ashley on this podcast, we talked to her for 2.5 hours. The episode was like 2 hours. It was our longest ever at the time. And then she's come on 5 times. She's come on the podcast in the middle of recording like these iFit sessions and said, hold on, guys. And then they shared this story with us after we stopped recording this episode. And Maddie's like, I just want you to know, like, please, we did not blow you off at the BAA, when they did the 100 miler.
That whatsoever.
I was kind of hoping they don't show up just because I didn't want to be responsible, like for forcing her to do it. And also having Maddie having a bad first impression. Like, these guys are making you come and do a podcast in Boston when it's cold and rainy after you ran 100 miles. They gave us the story about her having to sit down on a stool and do, like, part of it was maybe required, like talk to iFit, talk to a media person. And then a lot of it, I think they planned on being there for 20 minutes to do a few things. It ended up being over 2 hours because there were so many people in line who wanted a picture, a selfie, who wanted to ask her a question. And she took every question in this cold, wet gear because she legit just got out of the treadmill, sat on a stool, and saw everybody. Reminded me of these Dale Earnhardt stories I heard from him in the 80s and 90s, where he would never leave until the last person in line got their autograph or their picture, which you don't hear of these today. People have time requirements, not like they don't want to be there, but it's like, oh, you got to go do this thing now for this TV or this media outlet. You got a hard cut off. She took every person. And by the time they were done, they're like, we just need to go to the hotel. And no, I never thought they blew us off. I was just thankful they considered it. And it was such a big deal for us. And that just to consider us and come on this podcast 5 times. 5 times. You're going to have to get her a jacket.
That's what I said. Yeah. Like one of the SNL jackets. You're in the 5-timers club.
Yeah. It was incredible. They're so good. Maddie delivered. Like, Maddie is, I knew he was going to be good. He was so good.
They're just such a great team together. I love it.
Yeah. You got Sydney coming up in a month.
Oh,
how you feeling?
Geez. I'm fine. I mean, I'm ready for this trip. That trip's been paid for. I'm glad I don't have to go to London now, but I'm ready for
upgraded
Sydney.
seat though might not happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
I did have though Millennium send you the full check. Thinking like,
Yes,
maybe you could upgrade that seat for a nice comfy ride. If you had the choice, would you want the lay flat seat on the flight to Sydney or the flight home?
Good question. Probably the flight home, just because that's when I'm guaranteed going to be the most exhausted after a whirlwind trip, after running a marathon. I mean, I think I come home 5 days later or something, so I won't be traveling right after I run the marathon, but I don't know. I feel like that would probably be the way to go. Just relax a little bit before going home.
Well, I can't wait to hear about it. We're going to be back in about a week with a long tro.
Yes,
like an episode only with us. Maybe we bring on some friends. I'm sure Pterodactyl will be there. Maybe we bring Lindsay. The 4 of us. That would be a lot of fun. And then in a couple weeks, actually, we were recording with a few people, a couple people about a big race this fall, and they want to sit down with us and interview us. And I was hesitant, but I accepted. They were first like, "You've never done an episode about the two of you." And I'm like, you're right. And then I'm like, no, we did the foundations. And then we did one last year with our friend from the Cape. And I'm like, no, we have, but what's the harm in doing another one? So you're going to get some fun episodes coming up soon, outside of these couple episodes with our running couples, brought to you by, one last time, thank you to our amazing sponsors, Back in Action. Check them out in the show notes. Download that free running pain-free guide. UFOS, for sending a free pair of UFOs to every guest on this episode. Guys, if you buy or do any of these with My Race Tats too, when you buy these products, if there's anything that says shout us out, like buy them through the links in the show notes, and they see like you listen and you hear these, that supports us and that gets them coming back for more. How cool would it be if they all stay on board beyond this series? So do whatever you can.
I love it.
Like, share, subscribe. Really, the sharing is the big thing. We finally just hit 2,500 followers. If somehow we hit 7,500 in the next few months before the end of the year, Erica's going to have to do some crazy challenge. It might be a triathlon. She's hoping we don't hit that many until January 1st. So.
You said 10K. I thought it was 10. 7,500 more followers. Yep.
Math, Erica. Math.
Hey, and also you said that I would have to do whatever the most liked comment is. So
I think that's a triathlon right now.
Oh, well.
Ashley could coach you.
All right. That would be a different story. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to get her on.
Anyways.
On my side, on board.
This was incredible. We promise not long tros. We promise not to have long episodes for this series. It's a lot of fun. We're going to see you guys at whether it's a happy hour hustle or run club. We're going to try to make some appearances at Salem Run Club. I might go visit Herm if I haven't already. This summer's been wicked awesome so far. 6-star. Take us home.
Once again, thank you to our partners. You guys are amazing. And thank you all out there for listening to us. I know we have a lot of banter and crap that we talk about, but, we love you.
Don't fear the code brown.
And don't forget to stretch.
I think that I like him more as a friend because we were friends for a while, that I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. So I said, I told him one day, and I'm like, that's a big matzo ball that I'm putting out there. He felt the same way. And if we weren't putting that cube together, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. So thank you for that.